Robert.
Yo, what's shaking? AC.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. Are you okay?
I'm awesome. First of all,
Hey,
you were in Victoria last week
I
for
was.
our team collaboration session, which we should talk about in a minute. Actually, that might be fun. But something arrived today from Amazon. And so just to get everybody up to speed, I was asking you because you have all kinds of different ring lights and all lights in your office and all this, and you seem to know a little bit about recording and lights. And I was like, Robert, what should I do in this office about lights? And the first thing you said was turn your ring light. So I've got a ring light. I'm just going to be straight up here. And it was over here. And you said, try putting it there. And you said, but if you want, you could order this, like, what is the light called that I ordered?
You were looking for a soft box,
A soft box,
or a beauty dish.
So we got on Amazon, and the next thing you know, I was like convinced, didn't take much because I'm like, well, you know your stuff. I'll just trust it. Whatever, spend a couple $100. This will be good. And then when I record podcasts and things, I'll have better lighting. So I'm sitting here running a round table today, and the office manager or reception comes up rolling on a hand truck, this big box. And I'm like, wait, what did I actually order? Like, look at how big this thing is. Like, what is in this box? Like, why, Robert? Why is everything with you always like over the top? Like, why?
You got everything you need. You've got two soft boxes from the side, one soft box that overhangs with a counterweight, stands for all that, light bulbs. You've got 5 different umbrellas, white, gold, silver. You've got carry totes for it. You got a green screen, a black screen, a white screen, the works.
Okay, well, I feel like it's a bit overkill, but maybe with all my different areas that I record, I'll want these different options, right?
Yep.
So, but I had to laugh when I saw that coming. I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm like really like that's what I ordered. So now I've got to deal with that. So I've got to open that all up, and
everything's bigger with Robert. I'm like Texas.
Just everything's bigger in Texas. There you go. Okay, well, anyway, we'll see. I'll report back on that. But speaking of the team being here, that was really awesome. It all started with on our team, Jen Brannon saying, hey, I'm going to be coming out your way. She lives near Toronto. I'll be flying out west to visit a friend while I'm in Vancouver. Why don't we meet up? I'll come to Victoria. So then the next thing you know, you were coming and Jen Cotillo came, and Keith was the only one that couldn't make it. Had other things going on, but we got him in on Zoom. And I'm curious what you got out of that, or kind of what was like a key takeaway or a highlight for you of being here with the team, all of us together.
Well, I really enjoyed drinking wine for breakfast to consume my calories so that I could do the worm on the street later at night while high-stepping downtown and listening to live music and devouring some beaver tails like nobody's business.
Yeah, okay. So just to be clear, that was I'm going to give Jen Cotillo a shout out for that, for the high-stepping, and we had to go get beaver tails, which was super fun. And then, yeah, you were doing the worm. I don't know if that was because you were on a sugar high, but you were literally doing the worm on the street. Okay. So that's your highlight.
Okay. No, but all joking aside, I think one of the greatest highlights is just like, I mean, we can get into details about like what we did and collaboration and all that sort of stuff, but simply that, for lack of a better word, the magic of people coming together from so many different places to one place, unlike provoked out of desire to create something amazing. You know what I mean? Like it just kind of happened.
Yeah, I'm still on a high just at the fact that everybody is so aligned and on our team and really wanted to be together to the extent that they kind of turned it into an opportunity to take time away from their families and come and be together. I'm just like I'm blown away, and it was so fun.
So like, how did you do that? Like you're like Gandalf or something. You're just like, boom, and everyone came. Like, how did you garner?
I used my magic wand.
Okay.
And I said some magic words and I sprinkled fairy dust, and then everybody just came. No, I'm kidding.
Like Tinkerbell.
People often ask me how I created a team in such a short period of time of people that are so passionate and driven and aligned. and it really comes down to, well, a couple things, but the first thing I was going to say is being really clear on what I stand for and what I'm trying to do different than other people in the franchise community, and not being afraid to put myself out there as who I am. It's really been made it just almost effortless to attract the right people to the team that have the right, mix of skills and horsepower really that's been added to the team. But it's because everybody's so aligned. So, our mission is to really improve franchise system performance in various ways. And everybody on the team cares about that and cares so much about getting it right and being ethical about how we do things. So I think it has a lot to do with that. But I will also give you a shout out because you saw this. You were like, there's a gap in the franchise space for this kind of service where you are authentic and you are helping franchisors differently. You're doing something untraditional that is going to, make more impact, bringing people together. And like you've always talked about that, community and collaboration and franchisors want to be around other franchisors. And I love bringing people together. So I'm like, game on, let's do this. So it's having people that really align, and then also just people that really believe in you. That's kind of that second part.
Yeah. You know what? I was just listening to a podcast and they were talking about trust and collaboration or cooperation, I guess. And the person specifically said trust, cooperation, these are feelings. These aren't tasks. When you tell somebody just trust me, that doesn't mean that they will. Let's all get together and collaborate. Okay, how? You have to have that feeling of collaboration and trust, and that's invoked through the leadership. And through your leadership, I think what's happened is that you've lived your why or your mission or your vision or whatever it is, and that's attracted the right people to your team, and it's created that environment of trust and cooperation.
Yeah, now I'm feeling a little bit silly because we're talking about this, because I feel like this is what I've done. But I just want to be really clear. Like, this isn't me tooting my horn in any way. This is me saying, don't be afraid, guys, to do it. Like, don't be afraid to be who you are. There will be people that you will attract. And if you don't worry about what other people are doing, there will be enough for everybody. And so by really trusting and again, just getting so aligned with what you want and being authentic about it, that's what's going to work. And, I think, when we had our full day session on Friday as a team, I think one of the things that was so magical for me was just to see everybody, when you say like collaborating, like, okay, let's talk about, different initiatives that we have coming up in the fall. And let's talk about how we're going to optimize those, and then getting everybody involved and wheels turning. I think that's been another thing, is that the way that we're doing this is so collaborative that people feel important and a part of it, and they're getting fulfillment out of, being on a team. So I think like the way we're doing it is part of it too.
Yeah. In fact, I would even not even call it collaboration. Like, when I think of collaboration, I think of like some sort of like forced round table where you're trying to come out with some sort of ingenuity. This is just like, hey, let's get into a room. We're all great people, and let's see what happens, Oh
yeah, we're all great people. That's pretty funny that you said that. I wasn't using that word, but sure, we are.
I'll go there.
It was we're aligned, not we're great. But if you want to go there, okay. But yeah, I love your confidence. But yeah, let's get together and let's figure things out together.
Again?
Oh, sure. You think we should set this Friday? We just have a few more days. No, the point was, yeah, it's good to get everybody together and listen and let everybody's voice be heard. It's all of a sudden one person will say something, you're like, oh my gosh, if we hadn't worked together on this, we would have totally missed that idea.
Yeah. So and there's a lot of great ideas that came out of them, and all the ideas serve the mission of what you're trying to accomplish.
Yeah. So it was pretty fun. So those are some of my highlights.
Cool. I'm glad to hear that.
So is it time to
wrap it up?
Okay, you ready? Are we going to say the usual, or are we going to say the
3,
version?
2, 1, go be awesome.